All right, welcome to Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Romo Athletics and powered by the Rolla Athletic Booster Club. I'm your host, Tom Brown, and once again, we got Coach Derick Heflin.
How we doing this week?
Man, we are doing good. That's a big old smile on your face, man.
Yeah.
And it was just coming out there. It's like, boom.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, no, last Friday it's probably the best game we've played in the 2 years I've been here. Our kids came out and played a really good Class 6 team. Like we talked about last week, they were 10-1 the year before in the state championship the year before that. And our kids came out Friday night and made a statement for sure. And we've got some things going in the right direction. And now it's just take the next step and build on it and get ready and keep working and building the next 2 weeks and be at our best come district time. But yeah, last Friday was a whole lot of fun for sure.
Oh my gosh, yeah. We were talking about that, offensively and defensively, just so many things to take away from that game in such a positive way. A way to recognize the kids for all the hard work they've been putting in this year. You get to 4-3 on the season. St. Dominic was 4-2.
Yeah.
We talked about them. They had the ability to put up points in games, and they just dominated some games, and they gave up a lot of points in some of those games too.
Yeah.
And man, we hit on both cylinders. Man, we put up the points, and man, we just shut them down.
But that was the thing, we come out and they have like a 5 or 6 play drive and get a punt, and then go down and score on 3 plays and hit a big play, and then after that, the next 2 touchdowns. We were talking about right before we got in here. They ran 3 plays of offense in the second quarter because we got the ball. I don't know how much time was on the clock when we got the ball, but we score with no time left on the clock. And then the best part about it was we go in the locker room, make adjustments, do everything we do, get water, get the kids ready to go, come back out, and we get the ball and go back out again. And, on Huddle, it breaks it down each play, and there's some penalties and there's some special teams on there. But we went almost 40 plays on Huddle of clips where from one of their offensive plays to the next. And the kids, Mason had his best game. De La Garza, I think, had 10 carries for 166 yards. So that's really good. Jack had 7 or 8 catches. Emory was bowling the ball in there, getting them, and they were crashing. You could tell they had watched the film from the week before, and their game plan was that Hayden and Easton were not going to beat them. And then, early on, we figured that out, and we got Jack and we got De La Garza going, and we found a way to get CP touches. I think he had 5 or 6 catches, and then he had 2 or 3 carries. So, he had 7 or 8 touches, so everybody was around 10 touches, 10 carries, and everybody was productive in what they did on offense. And then defensively, man, other than one big play, those guys were everywhere. It was one of the best games I've seen Trutt play at middle linebacker. We were just talking about how few plays they ran. He had 16 tackles, and if he didn't make the tackle, Jack was right there. All over the place, had a big pick. Those guys, the defensive line, I like Cameron Moore played his best game. James Camnish was in the backfield all night. Those guys were all over the field. It was 11 guys. There were 11 maroon jerseys every time they wanted to make a play, and we shut down an offense that had been very productive and, up tempo, whatever, RPO, all those fancy things. And our guys came out and executed the game plan perfectly and played together. It was a lot of fun to be a part of for sure.
Oh man, it was fun to be up in the booth. I was telling you, we were just having a blast and calling that out because, again, big plays, grind out plays. You talked about that first. They go 4 and out. Turnover on downs, 3 plays. Easton Smith does his pull and scores again. And now, but before that, you would run kind of like a bubble screener or a kick out to CP to get in touches. So all of a sudden, they're, like I said, their game plan also is like, hey, what just happened?
Yes.
And they start thinking, and then boom, almost a 50-yard run.
Yeah, no, and that was that CP. We've kind of put in a little, it's a trips package from gun, but it allows us to do some things and use CP as a different way and just move him around and make some easy throws for Easton to get his confidence going. But yeah, that bubble screen was nice, and then Jack and Mason did a great job blocking on the perimeter for him, and then on that touchdown run, the block Jack had on their middle linebacker was unbelievable. I mean, he blows him up, pancakes him, whatever you want to say, and then Easton's gone. And it was fun when you turn on the film and you see the guys, even when they're not getting the ball, blocking for each other, doing the things they're supposed to. And, the offensive line had another great night because those guys were pinching and in there and doing all kinds of stuff, trying to create havoc. And, it kind of took away some of our option game. But with them doing that, we realized our counters and our tosses were there. And those guys did a great job getting on the perimeter. And, Mason had the 90-yard run, and then he had the 80-yard run to start the second half that they called back. And on film, Cam Brown just pancakes the kid, and they call it, but those guys up front did their job and allowed all those guys to be successful. But yeah, no, the offense, we did a good job of spreading it out, getting everybody involved, and they had a good night. And just got to keep building on it and keep working forward. But it was a lot of fun for sure.
Oh, had to be. Yeah, the long plays resulting in touchdowns. The one you got 15 plays and then 17 plays in that first half.
Yeah.
Again, you had the quick hits, you had to grind it out. Emory pounds it in from one for the score. Then in that third drive, it's some pass plays going on there, and then you have the De La Garza, like I said, that 90-yard run.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just so many things that went on from so many different things. It just kind of changes the whole dynamic of how teams have to prepare for you, not just what you have available, but how the other teams now have to prepare for you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. When you run the option, you run the offense, we do. There's 4 guys in the backfield that really can carry the ball 10 times. And now, and Cam is doing a great job blocking, but he's good for like 1 catch for 26 yards, or a couple weeks we had 3 or 4. And they really have to defend every guy that can touch the ball. And you can't just say, hey, we're going to put 10 in the box and stop the run, because then CP and Cam and we get the pass game going. And that's been the goal the whole year. And we just really started clicking and doing those things. And our guys are just repetition, and they've got there. And it's a credit to the work they've put in and the work the offensive staff's put in to get those guys where they are.
Well, you brought up some of the kids that had some really nice games. So let's pull that up right now with the big dog, the Big Lots Big Dogs of the week. You talked about Jack Mrazowitz, kind of. So he's kind of on there for offense and defense. Yeah. And I was saying he had 7 tackles, had that interception that stopped their second drive. He had 7 carries for 53 yards, 7.6 yards per carry, and then a
1 touchdown.
Yeah. So great job here. And then Trent Richardson, he's been a force on defense for his entire high school career. But really this week, like you said, with limited touches by the other team, he ends up with 16 tackles.
Man, he was everywhere. It was awesome. It was one of the best high school linebacker games I've been a coach a part of, watching him play and be out there. It was awesome.
That's a lot of tremendous. That's a great compliment for Trent on that play for his game last Friday. And then Mason De La Garza, man, he said 10 carries, 166 yards, 16.6 yard average, 2 touchdowns,
and an 80-yarder called back. That you had 11 for. I'm not going to do the math, but that's over 200 yards. I know that he had a night, and like I said, a lot of that is a credit to Jack blocking for him on the edge and the stuff we were doing, and the same deal with Jack and his carries. Mason's out there lead blocking and doing that stuff too, and those guys took care of each other Friday night, and then we just got to keep building on that.
And just a lot to be proud of with the team on just a great thing. And before we start talking about this next Friday. Who was team meal provided by?
We had May Drive fried chicken. Sonic water is awesome. So
nice.
Yes, delicious meal for sure.
And I came in. I thought I was going to get here early enough to maybe partake of it, but did not. So it's a big night here today. We got junior high football going on behind us.
Volleyball senior night. Yep.
Softball was playing earlier.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It's a big Thursday here. And for the Bulldogs. So thank you to Brian Clark for sponsoring the Big Lots Big Dog. Appreciate that. So this Friday night, tomorrow night, we're heading to the Queen City. Gonna head down to Springfield. They're playing, I think it's Harrison Stadium at Drury.
Yes, they were on Drury campus.
Yeah, Drury campus there. And taking on Springfield Central. Springfield Central has not won a game yet this year.
Yeah.
They played Hillcrest, lost to Hillcrest like 33-0. Hillcrest is a team we beat 30-20 our second game of the season, and that game it should have been different.
Yes,
it's one of those, and this is a game that could easily be a trap game. Right?
Yeah.
Springfield is struggling. I know they've had some players and they've had some issues, but so what's your thoughts on them Friday night?
The other thing is, you play a team like that, they have nothing to lose. They're trying to get that win. They're fighting and doing that, and they've got some low numbers with their players and all that stuff. But we got to focus on us and make sure we go out and execute and keep building and gaining momentum. And, that's where I think where is our confidence or our momentum is just going and going and going each week. And we got to keep doing that. We got to make sure we stay focused and handle what we need to handle, and don't fall into something where, it's a trap game, or don't look past anybody and start looking at, oh, well, you know, if we do this and we do that and this team does that, this is who we could be at districts and all that stuff. It's just be where your feet are, focus on, you know, the next set, the next rep, the next play, and play together and keep doing what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. And that's our goal, and that's been our mindset really all week.
That's great. Yeah, I was going to say that had to be the theme for the week, where you want to celebrate, you want to recognize the kids for the job they did on Friday and the week before. I mean, two great games they strung together.
Yes, sir.
Building that up, having it all in play. But you can't settle on that. You can't let that be the case where you ignore those teams, you know, Central and then, you know, Parkview at the end. But
and you know, Parkview's picking up some momentum too. But yeah, with Central, you know, it's just one of those things where we got to focus on us and keep building off what we've been doing, and, you know, adding wrinkles here and there that we're going to need come, you know, playoff time. And that's been our goal. And our kids did a pretty good job this week of making sure we're executing, doing what we need to do. And the same thing with it too, is I told our kids, I go, you know, seniors, you have 3 guaranteed football games left. And at any point, you know, at this point, you can get hurt and those are over with. So you can't let anything up, take anything for granted. You just got to keep working. You got to keep grinding, and 2, have fun and enjoy this, because you know, that's the thing about football. You know, if you play any other sport, you can go find some rec league and do it. You can only wear shoulder pads and go play football one time, and you know, it's a special experience. And you know, you want those kids to have the best experience these last couple of weeks and keep moving and keep building memories and building off what we're doing, and just go out on a high note. And our guys have so far, you know, the last couple of weeks have responded, and we're doing that. So it's just keep doing what we're doing, keep worrying about us, and the rest of it take care of itself.
So that's great for the advice for the players, but fans at home, we want to talk about where do we think we're going to be seated right now. I haven't seen any seedings yet, because normally they have them by points and how things goes. I know some of that kind of fills out as teams.
Yeah, well, right now I think we're at 5. Camdenton, I think, is at 3. Lebanon is at 4, but it's a log jam right there at 3, 4, and 5, and really Capital City's at 2, and they're not very far ahead of any of us. So I think kind of how this week's gonna be real telling, because Camden plays Capital City. So that could be a big step there. And then Lebanon's I think got Glendale and Waynesville left, which Waynesville they'll get some bonus points for. We just got to take care of ourselves, and you know, looking at it, just trying to guess. You know, I told the kids I would assume just points and everything. We'll probably get whoever loses the Camden Cap City game, and just kind of have that in mind. But really, you know, it's like I said, we got to stay where we are, be where our feet are. But yeah, you know, there's been some times where you kind of do some math and try and get some things, and Michigan's got a formula that you need, you know, to graduated from MIT to understand. But yeah, we're getting there. And but I would say it'll be probably whoever loses that Capital City Camden game, because it'll bump somebody else up. And I think Lebanon will be the 2 or 3 seed, just because they've played, you know, going to the COC, you know, if you look at it on paper, they've struggled a little bit compared to what they did in the Ozark Conference. You know, I think they're what are we, 4 and 3, so they're 3 and 4 right now. But they've played a bunch of Class 6 schools, so even if you lose to a Class 6 school, you get that bonus point, and that has helped them to get there. So we're really just fighting we want to try and get that week home game for week 10, and whether it's Capital City or Camden or somehow Lebanon falls to us, you know, we'll go play and go fight, and the goal is, you know, we just want to keep grinding and keep going and keep building on what we're doing.
Is Springfield Central a Class 6 this year?
No, they're 5 in football. Yeah.
Okay, 5 in football, 6 in basketball.
Yeah.
All right. So before we go, let's thank some of our sponsors that are here help us out on Inside the Huddle. Love to have them. Again, we got MVP Apparel. We got Angie Reese, man, great job keeping all the Bulldog supporters in the Bulldog gear. We always talk about, you know, Dan Collier, State Farm, not just a good neighbor, he's a great neighbor. Love Dan. Phelps County Bank, 100% employee owned. They do a great job. They sponsor so many things here at our school and our community. Love to have them. Bankers by day, Bulldog fans by night. Go to mypcb.com and see them. Juan Skills Academy. Kobe Juan, two-time All-Stater, does a great job developing kids. Spent a lot of time with Ethan, so really enjoy him. And of course, we got Big Lots and Brian Clark, sponsor of the Big Dog. So again, appreciate them. So Coach, this question is real simple.
Okay.
It's 2 words. And so it's hard to be a question at 2 words. So you just got to put a question mark at the end. Okay.
All right.
Pumpkin spice.
Yeah. Question mark. Not this dude. It's straight black coffee, and I get mad going to Starbucks or going to those places because I don't even like. I want a black coffee, and I want it as large as you can get it, and I want it hot, and I want it strong, and all that other stuff.
I want to say it large. I don't want to say grande or tall. I just want just give me the large. Give me a large cup of coffee.
Yeah, the gas station, whatever. That's where I'm at, man. It ain't nothing fancy, but yeah, no, pumpkin spice, count me out.
Okay, just curious about that. Wasn't sure. I heard some rumors. But
no, yeah. Kids like to make stuff up.
All right. Well, for Coach Derick Heflin, I'm Tom Brown, and from inside the huddle to the heart of the game, we'll see you next time.